What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the crypto pairs for the week, try to see if we can find some setups. We're also going to talk about the king, Mr. Bitcoin himself. Before I jump into the video, make sure you like the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon. That way you get notified when I launch these videos. So with all that said, let's dive in. What's up, everybody? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. So as you can see right here, we're going to start with the king, Mr. Bitcoin himself. There's really, as far as targets go, there aren't any targets from any market structure levels. So basically what I can do, I don't really very seldom ever do it. Basically, I just have patience and wait for the market to put in some relevant market structures. You could look at a smaller time frame. You can see I got this white line drew here at 31,599.99 right here. And essentially all I did was took it from the open of this bearish candle here. So that's where I will look for a support hold, the first area, since we broke over 30K. This is an hourly chart, so you can see that this thing is going very, very strong. To only have one red candle on an hourly time frame for this essentially $3,000 move is quite insane. As you can see down here, there were lots of them. So basically Bitcoin was just consolidating underneath this level and creating a sentiment, making short sellers think that this was going to roll over here, and then boom, taking off. Now you can see we got some nice selling pressure coming into the market. All right, but we trade on candle closes. We never freak out and sell our positions when you have things like this happening. There will be a lot of profit taking going on up here at these levels. Obviously, we are $13,000 off the all-time high, so that's a pretty astonishing move. So the first area that I'm going to look for some support to come into play is going to be that $31,599 spot area right here. This is a pretty nasty candle coming in here, so we're gonna keep watching it to see what happens. Let's just go into a smaller time frame. Yeah, so if you're buying up here, you have to be aware that there is exhaustion risk, and if we keep selling down like this with big strong bearish candles, then that could be the exhaustion risk coming into the market. There really is no area for us to get on an 8-hour time frame. And this, if you just look at the sheer size of this 8-hour candle compared to the size of this 8-hour candle, that puts that hourly move into perspective. So that's not really bad. Where I would start to be a little bit more concerned is if we have a massive red candle that swallows up both of these candles. If that happens and you close below $30,000, then maybe, it might be time to start looking for a pop to see if it stops, to see if it's making a lower high. And if that happens, then that might be a good spot to take off some profits. This is not financial advice, obviously. This is the ramblings of a madman. So make your own trading decisions, make your own financial decisions as always. I'm just trying to help guide you through this process as to what I will do. Obviously, if I get two big red candles swallowing up both of these bullish candles and a close below the $30,000 area, I will wait for the next bullish candle and then probably exit some of my position. So right now, there's really nothing to do with Bitcoin other than to watch and see. This is very astonishing. This is the king of all assets. This thing has, in the last 10 years, been dominating the financial markets. So, yeah, this is insane. I'm loving every minute of it. Like I said, there's really no levels other than that 31,599 level and this 30K level there. Those are the only two places. This 30K level is only a level because it's a nice round even number. Sometimes people like to take positions at those nice round even numbers. So I don't know if this level will hold support. I don't know if this level will do anything. This white line, you did see that I did get that from a valid market structure level on an hourly chart, which would be the open of this bearish candle. and that price is 31,599.99. So until we get some lower closes and we want to see some interactions with this level, there is absolutely nothing to do on Bitcoin other than just enjoy the ride if you bought at lower prices. Moving on to ETHUSD. Let's get on an 8-hour time frame. So here we got on ETH 835. I took this from, let's see, here we go. I got this level this morning. Someone was looking for possible resistance levels to come into play. On a weekly time frame, you can see that this market structure area here is where price is currently having trouble with. So basically, I'm going to use that area at 784.33. Now, the reason this line here at 842.79, it kind of was already tested as which you can see with this candle here. I mean, it didn't go all the way up into it, but that's pretty close. I mean, it might not be so close on an 8-hour time frame, but it's pretty close. But your next level of resistance above everything that has not been tested since this massive run up is 1047.13. I do look for that to hold some sort of resistance if Ethereum keeps climbing like it has been. So let's go in back to an 8-hour time frame and get over here to current price and grab some relevant areas to look for. All right, so this is going to be your last down closing candle before price shot away from it. So I would look for support to hold at 737.27, delineated by this white line here. Now, some people were going to be looking for this area to hold as support at 752.86, and it absolutely could. I don't know where price is going to hold support. As a trader, we have to wait for price to show us where it's finding support and where it's finding resistance. It's very important that you understand that concept. We cannot predict price as much as a lot of people like to say and label their YouTube videos price predictions. It's essentially just giving you both sides of the market. That's what I do as well. I give you both sides of the market, what to look for on the bullish case, what to look for on the bearish case. Because once price starts to tell us what it wants to do, then we can look to initiate targets in that direction. So first and foremost, I am not going to be watching this line at 752.86. I mean, I'll leave it on my chart. And if you want to take it, I essentially just took it off of the close of this bullish candle and the open of this bearish candle. I, however, will be watching more the 737.27 level, which is this level down here. If Ethereum finds resistance in this area and comes back down, I will look for a support hold there. If you get an 8-hour closure below 737.27, your next area to look for a support hold is going to be 697.11, delineated by this white line taken from the open of this bearish candle here. Litecoin. Litecoin. There we go. Well, Litecoin doesn't want to show its face. All right, so let's go into a weekly time frame real quick just to show you where this 146.00 level comes in. It's essentially the high of this last down closing candle here. It's just the high of that. Now, the close of that weekly candle, this bullish candle here, will offer up some resistance. If this weekly candle closes below 137.00, then we can go down into the 8-hour time frame and look for other relevant areas to hold support. So my first area to watch is going to be 129.67. If this area fails to hold as support, then obviously this low would be a target at 120.00. All right. If you get an 8-hour closure below that, your next area to look for is going to be 105.75, which is going to be the opening price of this bearish candle here, which was the last bearish candle put in before this bullish push. I generally let price dictate direction to me, and then I will look for, if I have to, I'll even go down into smaller time frame areas like a 1 hour to find relevant areas. For instance, this last bullish or bearish candle here, let me just get rid of this line because I pushed it in too late. All right, so here we have this low that I was talking about earlier. So that would pretty much cover all of this price action if price comes back down to that area. What I look for is a fresh area that hasn't been tested. This area right here, the top of this bearish candle, was tested with this candle right here. All right, but there isn't any other untested price action there. So that would be my next spot to look for if Litecoin closed below that low. And let's get back over here so I can show you. If Litecoin closes below 120.00, I will look for 109.44. Link. So Link is, I have some levels here. It's kind of trading in a range, and it has been trading in a range since I put these levels in. Since we had this push down and bounce and then move out of the area, we had just been essentially trading in a range. So your near-term price levels are going to be the low of these candles here because it's the last area of the market structure before you have a lot of wicks, all right? And you're trading in such a tight range, and this bearish candle here, let me just move this line down. You can see that it was already tested twice, all right? So there really isn't any nice, consistent candles to take levels from. If you run into that problem, just essentially take the closest to price's last high areas, but the candle bodies, not the wicks, just the candle bodies. That's going to act as support. And then obviously I took the low or the open of this bullish candle and is so far holding as resistance. So if price gets above 12.59830, I will look for this high as a target at 13.22. All right, that's this high here. That's if you get an 8-hour closure above this level here at 12.598. Obviously, if you can't close above this, I'm going to look for this area to come back into test up here, which is the last area that we had a closing and an opening from. That's at 11.63. Price comes down into there, and if it fails and drops lower, your next level is 11.202. Moving on to EOS. EOS is trading in a range. Let's start from scratch. Let's use this last area here and use this last area here. This area down here has been tested multiple times, but you are essentially trading in a range. There is nothing to do on EOS until you get an 8-hour closure above 2.820 or an 8-hour closure below 2.553. All right. There, if you try to trade in this range, you're just going to get chopped up. XRP. If you guys are selling XRP, good for you. I would not be buying this thing until you start closing 8-hour candles back in higher areas. My first area, obviously, that I want to see an 8-hour closure above. Let me blow this up. Bear with me. Is going to be this area here at 0.2437. You get a closure above that. Look for this level here at 0.2886. Closure above that. This is going to be your next area to look for. I would not myself, and I would not get bullish on this thing until we are closing 8-hour candles above 0.3560. Because in my opinion, any move up in this area, even up to this area at 0.3560, is going to offer up another chance for sellers to re-engage this market. So until we are closing multiple candles above that area on an 8-hour time frame, I would not look to get bullish on this asset. It had a nice move up, and then it gave every bit of that plus more back. That is never a good sign. Now, I do understand that there was some relevant news out about this thing, and that could have caused a massive sell-off. Who knows? All I know is if you let price be your guide, you will find yourself on the right side of the markets more time than not. Stellar. Stellar's not looking so hot neither. I mean, it had a nice run up. It had some consolidation. And if price is leaving away from the consolidation, then that is not accumulation. That is distribution. Meaning every pop in price is getting sold into by bigger firms, bigger people that have lots of money. They are taking this as an opportunity to exit this market, which causes a selling downward pressure on the market. Currently, let's get rid of this because this is nothing that can stay and that can stay. All right, so currently the range is so tight. This market structure was tested and it rejected, and we're moving back lower. So my next area to look for this to be coming into play is going to be 0.12577. This area here, you close an 8-hour candle below that, and your next area to look for support is going to be 0.103940. This low first, and then that area. That is your market structure area. This low will be a target. All right. That low is at 0.110023. This low here. Now, if you do hold this area as support at 0.125577, your next area to look to come into play is going to be this area first, and then this area here. And I will go ahead and say that. You want to see an 8-hour closure above 0.138561, which is this line here. Your next area is here at 0.145006. As long as you're closing 8-hour candles in a downtrending market, you have to look to the sell side. ADABTC. Obviously, I'm assuming that anything trading against Bitcoin right now is getting slaughtered because Bitcoin is on a tear. The way these pairs work, if you're new to the crypto and Forex markets, is generally when you have one currency paired against the other currency, that specific asset will move down if the quote currency is stronger than the base currency, or vice versa. So basically, if ADA was stronger than Bitcoin, then this chart would be moving up. But since Bitcoin is stronger than ADA currently, it is moving down. And these were all the market structure levels that we were looking at last week in the Crypto Weekly Outlook video. And as you can see, this was my market structure level here at 0.000000000000. Let's just call it 715 Satoshis. You can see it failed there. It failed there miserably, and then boom, dropped through this market structure and this market structure and closed. And then the next bullish candle you got was a retest of this current market structure, and see ya. Yep, this thing is weak. So your next area to look for a resistance hold will be that doji candle right there. Now this stuff right here can come into play. I don't know if it will or not. You can look for it too. So you can put that area there at 576 right here. All right. Now this low was already taken out, as you can see, which is why I always use the lows or the highs as targets. You can see we have taken that out. So any liquidity that was down here has been purged. There is no high probable setup on this thing until you start give it a little bit more time, say Tuesday-ish. See what it's doing then. If you're closing 8-hour candles moving forward or up, then you can look for these market areas to come into play as resistance. You do want to see failure if you're shorting this, all right? If you do not see failure, if you're closing candles above, then you got to look for your next market structures to the upside. And I like this area here. So with all that said, let me give you these levels. Basically, we're going to wait for this to close because we did take out this low at 548. So if you get an 8-hour closure above 576, you can look for 618 to come into play. An 8-hour closure above that, your next area is going to be 638. All right. And then there's really nothing. There's nothing up here. And I doubt there's anything on this smaller time zone. So I guess you could take an older market structure level at that, or just use the midpoint price of this candle here, which is 665. This is what you have to wait for when you get in areas like this where there is no clear market structure. The clear market structure is all the way up here or down here, right here at 695. All right, but that's a pretty big area. Price can absolutely move from here to here easily, really easily. So just keep this thing on watch. If you close 8-hour candles below 548, it's going way lower. And I'll pull up a weekly just to see. Yeah, on a weekly, this thing is absolutely disgusting versus Bitcoin. It only goes down. I recommend you do not try to buy this, but that is just my recommendation. My recommendation doesn't count for anything. Moving on to ETHBTC. Now, ETH was stronger than BTC right here. As you can see, when I had this push up, I think that was before New Year's Day, like Thursday-ish or Wednesday. Yeah, it looks like that. Oh, no, this was all the way back just after Christmas. And then we sold off because Bitcoin is moving up. So here's your next area to look for resistance. It's going to be underneath this bullish candle here at 0.02585 right here. I don't know if this wick is an actual price wick. Like, I don't know if that's a glitch in the matrix or if that's an actual test. But this is your near-term test. So if you keep closing 8-hour candles heading lower, you're going to want to target 0.02275. We can go into an hourly chart real quick to tighten up this range a bit. So if you get movements up, your first area to look for a resistance hold is going to be 0.02449350. And then this area here, which is 0.2506. All right. DOTUSD. This thing is moving. It's nice and strong. So the only thing to do on this is to look for buying opportunities. Now we did break above. Oh wait, this is an hour. Give me 1 second. All right, so here we go. Essentially, you're going to want to see a support hold at 8.2637 right here. If price continues lower, you want to see this area hold a support. If that area doesn't hold a support, my next area to watch for support would be 7.382. Now, even if this area doesn't hold as support, you're still bullish at this area at 6.597. Now, at that point, since you had this market structure high here taken out with this bullish move, if price trades back into it, I am no longer looking for bullish entries on this pair. All right. So let's move on to DOTBTC. So even though Bitcoin has been strong, this thing was strong versus Bitcoin. So you had a nice strong push here. This is going to be your relevant area to look for support to hold. We did currently test lower. We actually tested almost all the way down to the close of this bearish candle. And so far we are rejecting. So as long as you're rejecting 8-hour closures above 0.0028211, which is this area here, you can look for the close of this bullish candle. This is your first area. And then ultimately this area here at let's just call it 32014. All right, this area here, 32014. Get an 8-hour closure below this area at 26135. Your next area to look for a support hold is going to be 24236. This area here. You close below that, you're going lower. So that's all I got for you guys. Excuse me. That's all I got for you guys tonight. Tomorrow I'll be doing my Forex weekly outlook video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And with all that said, guys, Happy New Year. Make sure you let your setups come to you. Don't FOMO into this stuff, guys. You become a sniper. You wait for your setups. Once your setups show themselves, that's when you pounce on your prey, as Jordan always says. Think of yourself as a lion. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We'll talk to you tomorrow.